For me, data governance was a eureka moment after struggling in a company with, I was leading their data and analytics team. And when I heard about it, it was just like, this is it. This is going to be what ends our struggles. Because we knew that if we applied some of these um, processes, that we would be able to deliver quality product. And we wanted to deliver a good product, but felt like we were always just treading water. So it was a big
Right.
shift. And from an internal perspective, it's easy to get the team on board because they see that the benefits are there for them to be able to be proud of what they're producing. But it's more of a challenge to get business and other entities and leadership on board. And I see this as being
Right.
one of your real strengths.
Hmm.
Can you share how your secret sauce for getting those people to start paying attention and enabling the governance process to take root?
Yeah. So, to me, it dawned on me when I joined Delta Community. I took a lot of time in terms of talking to leaders across the business to understand their challenges, what was working, what was not working. They had tried to do data warehousing before I landed there, and the experience was not good because it was a very technology-driven initiative. They were trying to have their voice heard. And when I say their voice, I'm talking to the business. So, the eureka moment for me, Teresa, was that it really needs to be a business led process. It cannot be something that technology is mandating. But at the same time, in order to really make sure that the data works for everyone, you have to put in checks and balances. You've got to make sure that you have standards, you have consistency in the data. So, it's kind of a marriage of those two things. But the first thing I did was engage the business and, put a governance structure in place where I had a governance council of sorts. It was a two-tiered structure. The top level, it was the executives. And then the middle tier were the vice presidents, the people that really owned key business processes. And I gave them, handed the keys to the kingdom to them to say, okay, what is it you want to do in this data driven analytics process? So it started with that. And, so it led to decisions on, common key performance metrics. How would you define them? Who's a member? It's as basic as that. If you want to produce a metric like member churn, you've got to define a member. So the business was in the driver's seat. So they made these decisions. We facilitated that. I facilitated the process, me and my team. We facilitated the process, but the business was in charge. And when you have a good collaboration like that, you're really looking at it from a usage point of view, from the viewpoint, the perspective of the customer that you're serving, and it makes data governance, come alive, and it makes it something that produces value from day one, so it's sustainable. So
Perfect.
that was the
Yeah.
unique. You need to get business engaged and excited about it.
Yes, and I know just from my personal experience, watching you for the last 2 years has been inspiring, and how you approach those, because you did take a multi-thread approach in engaging the vice presidents, the senior leadership, the business, and all of the entities, and inviting them to the table.